You'll have a back full of holes from sleeping on a bed of nails, but you're not going to get an award for that. So I get a lot of questions about prenuptial agreements, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to make a video and talk about a bunch of these questions, give you guys answers. So here we go. First question, will asking for a prenup ruin the romance or trust in our relationship? No, it won't. Discussing a prenup doesn't undermine trust. It demonstrates a mature approach to financial planning for the marriage. It's an opportunity for open communication and setting expectations early on, even before you get married, and that strengthens trust rather than erodes it. It actually can allow the parties to relax and enjoy the marriage without having to live in fear of what happens if the marriage doesn't work out. Look, in these times we're living in, only an ostrich puts her head in the sand and ignores the fact that a lot of marriages don't work out. And even if it doesn't work out, it's not the end of the world. People, stop acting like a divorce is the end of your life. It means you gave it a try, but it wasn't working out for either you or for them. It's not the end of the world. Back when people lived to be 30 years old, I could see sticking it out. But geez, you're going to live into your 80s. If it's not working out in your 30s or your 40s or 50s, don't you want to get out? Or are you going to suffer for another 30 to 50 more years just to say, we didn't get divorced? Wonderful. You'll have a back full of holes from sleeping on a bed of nails, but you're not going to get an award for that. Another question, do prenups only protect wealthy individuals? No. Prenups are not just for the wealthy. They're valuable for anybody with assets or inheritance that they want to protect. They also establish clarity on financial matters, and they can safeguard both parties' financial interests regardless of their net worth. Third question, can a prenup be challenged or invalidated? Yes, prenups can be challenged in court if they're not done right, so get an attorney who's written tons of them, like me. Certain criteria like coercion or incomplete disclosure can invalidate a prenup. There are very specific rules and elements for creating a valid enforceable prenup agreement. I've had people try to invalidate my prenup agreements, and it has never worked because I'm following all the rules. So make sure whoever you do have prepare your prenup agreement also follows the rules. Fourth question, will a prenup affect spousal support or alimony? A well-drafted prenup agreement can stipulate terms for spousal support or alimony, but courts may still review these provisions. Here's the key. They must be fair and reasonable in order to be upheld, and there are some other elements that I'll explain to my clients when I'm doing a prenup about valid alimony provisions within a prenup in order to make them stand up if they're challenged. Fifth question, can a prenup address custody or child support? And the answer is no, not directly. Prenuptial agreements cannot determine custody or child support arrangements because these are subject to the best interests of the child, and state laws and those determinations on what's best for the children have to be made at the time of the divorce, not before the kids are even born or before you're even married. However, prenups can outline financial responsibilities or arrangements related to children from prior marriages. Question 6. What happens if we divorce without a prenuptial agreement? Well, without a prenup agreement, divorce proceedings default to the state laws regarding property division, which may or may not be in alignment with your preferences or what you consider to be fair. A prenuptial agreement can provide clarity and control over asset distribution because those allocations are decided within the prenup, and that will likely resolve conflict and save on legal costs in the event of a divorce. Now, I'm a divorce attorney, and I'm telling you to spend a little bit of money up front on a prenuptial agreement in order to save paying me or one of my colleagues a lot more later. So if I'm telling you how to spend less with me, take that advice. Seventh question, is a prenup only relevant for couples planning to divorce? Well, are seatbelts only relevant for people planning to crash their car? And the answer to both of those questions is no. They aren't just for people planning to end their marriage. Prenups serve as proactive tools for financial planning, not just contingency plans for a divorce. Who gets married and plans to get divorced? The prenup facilitates discussions about financial goals and responsibilities and expectations, and it promotes transparency and mutual understanding within the relationship. One of my missions as a divorce attorney is to take the stigma away from prenuptial agreements as well as divorce. Eighth question, can we create a prenup after marriage? Well, yes and no. Okay, gee, Ed, thanks. That was helpful, right? That's probably what you're thinking. Okay, but here's what I mean. Prenup means prenuptial, means pre-wedding. So what happens if you want a prenup after the wedding? Well, then we do a postnuptial agreement. Those are very similar to prenuptial agreements, but they're done after the marriage among the married couples. So if you're watching what I'm saying, you're thinking, dang, I should have had one of those before I got married. Well, then consider doing a postnuptial agreement. I've done quite a number of these, and I think they're a great idea. Another use of a postnuptial agreement that no one thinks about is marital insurance for a couple who's on the rocks. I've done postnups for people whose marriages were not working out, and they were scared that if they stayed married and it didn't turn itself around, it would cost them a whole bunch in assets and fighting and lawyer costs later on down the road. So we laid out all the terms for a divorce within a postnuptial agreement, and then they were able to stop stressing about things like asset division, debt division, spousal support, who'd get the house, the dog, what would happen to the retirements, etc. So postnuptial agreements are a fantastic idea. Ninth question, how do I bring up the idea of a prenup without offending my fiance? Well, approach the topic sensitively, emphasizing that a prenup is about protecting both parties' interests and ensuring financial security and fairness. Focus on open communication and make your fiancé feel safe to bring up their fears and their concerns, and reassure them that you're not planning on a divorce and you want to have something that puts both of you at ease if you guys, or when you guys, go through a rocky patch. The stress of wondering what would happen in the event of a divorce, that can actually lead to the divorce itself, because stress will build upon itself. You get that out of the way when you've got a prenup agreement in place or a postnup agreement in place. So the prenup or the postnup, if you do it after you're married, it puts all of those concerns to the side because everything is all worked out. That allows you guys to work on the marriage itself rather than dwelling on what it's going to cost you to get out or cost you to stay and try and work some more in the marriage, and then it doesn't work out, and then it costs you even more later. Get all that out of the way by having a good prenup in place, or if you're already married, a good postnup. Hey, thanks for watching this video. Be sure to click subscribe, like, follow, and turn on the alerts so that you'll get notified when we post our latest videos. Please share these videos and leave us some comments and ask us questions and tell us what other topics you'd like for me to talk about. Join our Facebook group at Georgia Divorce and Custody for more information. And as always, I look forward to seeing you on the next video.